Good evening, folks. It's Coach Alex again. I'm making this quick video for Transformation Tuesday because we spend all of our time talking about physical transformations, about how much weight people have lost. Well, there's a totally different side to that we just never honestly cover. And that's what I want to cover with you today, is my nutritional journey and my nutritional transformation over the past 60 days. At first, there is an amazing meal replacement that I've been using during these 60 days that have made such a huge difference in how I'm eating, how I'm feeling, and just so many other things I want to discuss. So, and I'll show you exactly what it is. It is this amazing product called Shakeology. Now there's several different flavors, but personally, I use strawberry, as you can see with the pink label. And you see, there is a lot of amazing stuff that goes into this, and I'll post the links to all the ingredients and stuff, because I know you guys will probably want to check all this out. So, but suffice it to say, if you had one of these shakes, if you made it yourself, it probably wouldn't taste quite as good as how these guys have made it. The Beachbody's got an amazing product here in terms of taste and in nutrition for you. So, two, if you did make one yourself, you'd be spending about $45 per shake. So, yeah, that's a lot of cash, isn't it? And imagine doing that for 30 days just for one meal that's nutritionally as good as this and doesn't taste as good. Doesn't sound very appealing, right? So why would you spend $45 when you can spend $4 a day and get the exact same nutrition and it tastes really freaking amazing? So, it's a no-brainer, right? For about $4 a day, right, you get that entire bag for 30-day supply for $4 a day now. So, and in that $4, you're getting a ton of probiotics, or digestive enzymes, 45 different superfoods, and it's almost entirely organic. Most of the ingredients, except for what I know of is one, is organic certified. The only reason the whole product itself is because the protein is a grade 7 whey, which itself is still pretty high up on the grade list, but Beachbody just don't want to spend the money to get that or stamp on it because it just passes on the cost to you. And why would you want to pay more for something that you know you're going to get an amazing deal out of in the first place? It's not other products, it's not a protein shake, it's not a supplement, it's a meal replacement. And I cannot stress that enough because it just does not compare to any other its supposed competitors like Herbalife or Isogenics. It's not the same type of product. So this I fully stand by because of what it's done for me. And what it has done for me over the last 60 days is, one, I've completely kicked my addiction to soda. Those of you that know me personally know that for a long time, that's just about all I would drink. I was going through about a case every couple of weeks, and that was really unhealthy. And that's part of what made me balloon up so big in the first place. Or when I was coach originally, I'd kicked it again, but when I started falling back on my old habits, I was right back on again, drinking 3 and 4 monsters a day, and it just really was not good for me. So my blood pressure was skyrocketing, and I developed a very embarrassing issue that, honestly, I didn't feel quite disgusting up until now, and that is digestive issues. And to put it mildly, my bathroom trips were not fun. Sure, I could pee normally, but when it comes to pooping, 9 times out of 10, it was a very, very disgusting, dirty bottom. It was almost diuretic every single time. And those of you that have experienced that know it's not pleasant. I imagine doing that 2, maybe 3 times a day. And there was a period there where it was even worse because, well, my toilet wasn't working, so it was just sitting there festering all day. Can you imagine how disgusting that is? I mean, up to the point I was actually going outside. And it wasn't much better out there, but at least I could get away from the smell. So you imagine that was disgusting for me to deal with. That's on top of, and then there was the other issues, like my nutrition, which is terrible. I wasn't eating McDonald's or anything, but I was eating a lot of pasta, stuff that was very processed, like macaroni and cheese, which I'll admit, I love macaroni and cheese, and I'll eat it on treat day, but it's no longer my go-to. I was eating pizza every day, or eating hamburgers pretty often. So there was just a lot that was not very good. And honestly, it was just making me feel bad. So I realized I've got to change. I've got to do something. And then I thought back to, hey, I felt really good last time I was on Shakeology. My habits were getting better. I wasn't having near as many physiological issues. So I got back on it. Or almost the same day I became a coach. I had to wait for the shipping, of course. But once I got it back in, I have not had a day where I missed it since. So that my blood pressure started coming down. Obviously, my weight's coming down, if you've seen from my day 60 photos. And those are really just sound effects to how much better I am feeling. Like, like my skin honestly feels softer. So my nails are getting to be higher quality. And I know for guys, it's not really a big issue, but for some of you ladies, and that might be a perk for you, is that my hair honestly is starting to feel softer. I mean, there's just so much of this stuff that I can't even possibly go over it all in one video. But basically, the reason I mention all this is because it goes unsung. I mean, Shakeology is like, or when it comes to fitness, or Shakeology is tops. Because whether or not you know it about nutrition and fitness, they go hand in hand. So, but it's about an 80%, 20% balance. If you can work out all day and night, but you're not going to work out of bad nutrition. And that was a pit I had fallen into at one point. I was still eating poorly, but I was working out, and I wasn't seeing a whole lot of results. And this was back when I was in the Army. Or yeah, I was losing a little bit, but not really anything substantial. Like maybe a half pound a month, which is, or really, it's just bite-sized chunks of the larger puzzle that's got to be removed. And when you're sitting there losing a half pound every couple of months, I mean, it's kind of depressing. It kind of demotivates you because you're not seeing anything. So with Shakeology, it makes you feel better. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight, but after a month or two, you start really feeling the difference. You get more energy. You sleep better. I mean, hunger's not a big an issue because you're eating better as a result of Shakeology making you feel better. It's a compounding effect. So the longer you drink it, the better the effects become. And the minute you stop, you start noticing the effects. I can attest to this because the day I stopped drinking Shakeology, my first time as a coach, the day I quit, was the last drink of it I had. So, and honestly, it hit me like a ton of bricks the next day. I did not feel worth the crap. That's when my blood pressure were going up. I wasn't able to cope well with stress issues. My eating started declining. I wasn't working out. So it just started rolling downhill. And that's because my nutrition started suffering. So nutrition has a much bigger effect than just your fitness. And that's why I'm sharing my Shakeology transformation with you, because it's not a transformation you can see or so much as you can feel from my voice. Like, my passion for Shakeology is insane. There's a reason I'm back on it. It has actually saved me a whole lot of cash in the process, too. That's another benefit. Because now I'm not stopping and getting snacks every 10-15 minutes when I'm on the road. I'm not going out nearly as often until I get a hamburger or a cheeseburger, go out to a restaurant with an all-you-can-eat buffet. But I rarely do it now. And even when I do, I'm getting smaller plates, taking less. So, right, and then there's a whole bunch of other things that come up on top of that. So I don't drink sweet tea anymore. In fact, I've actually started loving just regular straight tea. I mean, green tea, black tea, and chai tea. There's a whole bunch of other positive things that have become of me staying on Shakeology like I have. So, what I encourage you to do is research Shakeology, see what it can do for you, and ask yourself, can this help me improve? And you don't. I can get you samples of it. So, but what it really boils down to is, will it help you? So, do you think it will honestly help you feel better inside and clean you out and cleanse you like it has me? Because we're not talking about just our physical cleanse, but it's also kind of a spiritual and a mental cleanse. As your clarity also improves. You think better the more you drink this stuff. So, what I want you to do is research it. And if you don't have the material to look at it, I will give you that material. Just ask me. So, and if for some reason you don't want to ask me, still visit my blog, fitnessae.com. So there's a whole section dedicated to Shakeology, what doctors are saying, links, all sorts of information that it's at your fingertips. But I highly encourage you, research it, ask me questions. I can share with you plenty of success stories on why it's such an awesome product. But my coach has a story that will blow your mind they mentioned Shakeology. In fact, if it wasn't for Shakeology, she wouldn't be in near as great a shape as she's in today, physically or financially. So please research it, ask questions.